Next up, we got Xandra with the happy news here on the Whitfill Nursery Garden Show every Saturday from 7 to 9 on News Talk 550 KFYI or anywhere on the planet in iHeartRadio.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra here with your happy news. A company in India has found a way to recycle sugarcane waste into a fully compostable and biodegradable single-use plates, bowls, and other tableware. After sugarcane is processed for all its usual applications, we're left with a powdery, fibrous byproduct that looks a lot like sand, but it's actually just the leftover fibers from the sugarcane plant. Normally, this waste would be burned, but that's not the most environmentally friendly way to deal with it. Instead, the company Chuk takes the fiber and turns it into a goo-like pulp paste that they can heat press into plates, bowls, and trays that can safely handle the oven, microwave, or freezer while also being both sturdy and durable. And all of this without the use of any plastic. After these plates and bowls are used and tossed, they only take 90 days to fully compost and return to the earth, making the whole process pretty eco-friendly. Companies all over the world can purchase these products for a quick and easy way to turn over a new leaf into a sweet future, Brian.
Well, it sounds like a sweet idea to me, but we were somewhere, I was eating on these banana plates that were pressed banana leaves, and pretty darn fantastic. I think it's a great idea and something that, just makes a lot of sense. And besides that, it's fun with some of these organic plates just to look at the fibers that they're made out of. A lot of ways to recycle, a lot of things that can be recycled. And like we were just talking about with the organic materials, then they go back in and become part of the environment, part of the world once more.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra, here with your happy news. 3D printing can do all sorts of amazing things, but the cost of the filament material used to print is often pretty pricey, and unfortunately usually too high for developing countries that could really use it. That is until now, after a team in America made the Polyformer, an open-source recycling machine that can turn plastic bottles into 3D printing material by quickly and easily shredding and threading it into the kind of ribbon thread used by 3D printing. The Polyformer was designed to make it cheaper and easier for independent makers to create products from repurposed plastic waste instead of relying on specifically made new filament plastic. The machine itself was made from recycled plastic bottles, and because it's an open-source project, anyone in the world has access to it. This is fantastic news because not only does it give access to a cheaper avenue for making tons of tools, gadgets, parts, and toys, but it can also be used to print things like educational equipment that is often too expensive to purchase. Developing countries can benefit the most from this project as they're able to use these machines at plastic waste facilities where they now have an easier option to repurpose plastic waste into something useful. I mean, Brian, this is also just great for plastic recycling in general in any country. I mean, the more plastic we can recycle and repurpose, the less new plastic we have to make.
That's just absolutely unbelievable. That's some of the best news I've ever, we talk about doing a happy news segment here, but what's more wonderful than find a way to use all this plastic? Because we all enjoy the plastic. I mean, the convenience of plastic water bottles is beyond compare. But the fact that they did it, they give their technology away, they're sharing it with mankind, is pretty damn wonderful.
It's the best way to do it.
It's pretty unreal. Great story, Xandra. Thanks for it.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra, here with your happy news. We hear about solar panels and their environmental benefits all the time, especially in Arizona. And as the world turns to more green methods of energy, solar panels are one of the leading forces. But what happens to those solar panels when they can no longer be used? The current process to dismantle and recycle the parts is more expensive than it is to just toss them in the landfill, which is unfortunately what happens to most of them, and that's the problem. A group of Australian scientists say that they have found a way to process this in a more viable way for the future. They've developed a complex heating and chemical process that doesn't use dangerous chemicals, but is able to extract the valuable silicone from panels, making it cheaper and more environmentally friendly. The nanoparticle made from the silicone is worth a lot of money because it can be used to create battery antidotes to increase the capacity of lithium batteries, which is something we need a lot of in our techie world. So this makes this new method also very financially interesting for the recycling business. Brian, I just love to see people around the world always finding new ways to not only make recycling profitable, but environmentally friendly. It's so great.
Well, Xandra, as a baby boomer, we're counting on your generation to save the planet because, we've certainly messed it up. But there are those of us who try. Great story.